Gabby.
Good
Of course, would
evening.
like to thank you for spending time with us. But do you want to greet our online viewers right now?
So hello to anyone who's watching online. If you don't know me yet, I'm Gabbi Carballo. I will be representing Cebu City at Miss Universe Philippines. I will be representing Cebu City at Miss Universe Philippines. So I just really hope na thanks to all of these people here, I hope that you guys get to know a little bit more about me today. Even if you've been following for a long time or even if you just started following, know that I'm very, very grateful for all of your lives for tuning in tonight.
Of course, you're always welcome, Gabby, because I really love Cebuana. As in, from Bea to Hanson and
All
Theo
of my
and
ates.
Jella. Yeah, we'll support you.
Thank you,
Of
thank
course.
you.
Do you have a question?
Question, siguro mauna na ako because you're a doctor by profession. I mean, you've graduated in medical school and you're also a model, you're also a teacher, di ba, right? So, ang question ko lang, are you ready for, I mean, to be more visible in the public's eyes? Kasi, syempre, you're an instant celebrity when you're a beauty queen. So, how do you feel about it?
It's really been a transitional period for me because, to be honest, when I was in the hospital, I got very used to having no makeup, going out with no effort at all. Because for me, that was kind of me surviving na sa hospital. But I realized through this that it's time to come back to the life that I've always wanted to come back to, which is one that I am the highest version of myself, and the highest version of myself requires me to be also presentable. So I'm ready naman. It's something that I've really chosen to pursue, and if anybody knows me personally, when I go in, I go all in. So I'm ready. I'm ready naman.
And how are you preparing so far?
So luckily enough, because I joined Miss Universe Philippines Cebu, my preparations started back September of 2024. So because of that experience, I feel very lucky na here in Manila, since I arrived a few days ago, I've really just gotten to focus more on how to make this my new home. I have still been training online by chatting my Q&A trainer, especially about all of the current events going on for myself to be updated. For Pasarela, I trained twice before I left for Manila. And luckily, my trainer will be staying with me actually. Not only for me, but he has a lot of other trainees around Manila in the next few months. So I'm lucky because I get to come home and he's there now. So if I need to train, if I feel like I'm weak at something, he's there naman right in my condo to practice with me.
Last na muna for me. What was Chris Hanson's advice to you before you come here to Manila?
She really wanted me to focus on my mental preparations, which I took very seriously. Because I have always been a type of person to think a lot. I'm very calculated, which I think Ate Chris and I are quite similar in that way. So I really wanted na I put everything in, but I also find a nice morning routine or something to really make my mind centered for the day. Um, that's really what she told me to focus on. She prepared me mentally with explaining to me what the competition is like. So moving forward, I'm really trying my best to, even if the call time is very early in the morning, I'll wake up a little bit earlier to make sure that my mind is centered before everything else. I don't want that I'll start looking at the competition as a burden because it is a blessing. And I was talking about it the other day na I never want to look at this blessing as anything else because sayang naman, I've been praying for so long for this and the Lord finally answered my prayers. So I should never look at it as a negative thing.
Gab, our Miss Universe Philippines 2021 Beatrice Luigi Gomez is from Cebu. She represented Cebu City in the 2021 edition. What have you talked to Bea na ba already?
I messaged her because I know she's not based in Cebu naman. So I messaged her asking her what I should expect. She did tell me that the experience will be a little bit different because she joined during the pandemic. So a lot of their activities are more so online before they really had to come into Manila and compete. But same sentiments about really keeping my mental space. I really wanted to message her actually because I feel like Bea and I are similar in the way we look at things. are quite quiet. Like we like to work kind of behind the scenes and focus more on what's really important. So she told me really just to get as much sleep as I can. She also advised me where to get a condo here in Manila, so that's why I chose to live in Makati. And she really told me that I can message her whenever. So I'm really grateful actually na I have so many ates, including Steffi, who have competed before me. So I feel very guided actually.
So, how does it feel na Cebuanas are doing well when it comes to pageantry, especially in Miss Universe Philippines? Kumusta yung pressure?
Actually, I would say na it's not so pressuring for me because I really find it to be a good thing. For me, one thing that Ate Chris also told me was Cebu has sash factor ahead of time because of all of the ones that went before me. So I don't have to try so hard also to be noticed because a lot of the time people are looking for who's representing Cebu. So I'm very grateful to be part of a city that has that. But if we're talking about the side of feeling pressure, I felt more pressure sa local pageant for me because I had been competing in the local pageants for quite some time. But now I feel like it's a clean slate. It's a fresh new beginning na it's like reintroducing myself to a whole brand new group of people that don't know anything about me. And so what's important to me is that I represent Cebu well because it's really a place that's formed the woman that I am today.
Okay. And the numbers of the candidates for the 2025 edition of Miss Universe Philippines, um, it's getting higher and higher. So, nadadagdagan. So, I think in the history of the Philippine pageantry, this is the first ever na magkaroon tayo ng candidates na like, I think 70 plus or 80. So, how do you feel about that? And, like, like, yung kumusta the pressure pa din?
You know what? I mean, I really am excited to meet a lot of other girls. For me, one thing that I've also been praying for aside for this pageant is to have a community of women around me that really I can call my best friends. So even if we are a lot, I'm excited that we get to all go through the trials and the difficulties together. We get to wake up early every morning. So for me, rather than looking at them as competition, I know it sounds super cliche, but now that I'm 26, the way that I view competitions is so different because I realize that we all have so many differences. And if I were to peg myself as another girl or want to present myself a certain way, then that's losing who I am. And the reason why I'm joining is to showcase the best version of myself, not the best version of somebody else. So I'm just excited for all of our different personalities to blend together. I'm excited to observe their strengths also because maybe there's a strength that I can also add onto myself. So really just being a sponge to all of the women that will be around.
Okay, next question. What's your advocacy?
My advocacy is actually focusing on the prevention of illness through ecologically sustainable projects. So this project is actually called the Green Wave Cebu. This started way back in 2018 after I won Miss Mandaue. So the Miss Mandaue org kind of laughed at me after I won because 1 week after coronation I asked them, this is the list of projects I want to do, what can you help me with? And that was the very first time that anyone in their pageant had ever done that, which I didn't even know. I thought it was a normal thing, but I've always viewed pageants as a place to basically work. It's a job for me. And so that project started, we started with waste segregation programs in Mandaue City Central School, which is a public school there. So teaching them lang how to throw their trash properly, malata, hindi malata. We donated with Steffi Abarastery during her Binibining Cebu reign. We donated basketball-themed trash cans, so it's more fun for the kids to throw their trash away. Then we did a cleanup of Butuanon River also in 2019. And then we started a project called CEBUANA. So this is actually about sustainable tourism. So it's utilizing the lightly used bar soaps in the big resorts in Cebu, making them into new bar soaps, and then distributing them to the far-flung areas of Cebu. And then having hand-washing programs with them also, because as a medical intern, I realized that so many of our kids in the far-flung areas get diarrhea, they get pneumonia, and all of these things can be prevented if they wash their hands, or if they, learn learn how to take care of themselves hygienically. So for me, I am a doctor, even if I am one, I think it's better if we have lesser patients in the hospitals. So if there are diseases that can be prevented just by changing a certain aspect of their lives, then why not? It's better because again, prevention is better than cure. So that's what I've chosen to focus on.
You've been also joining various pageants in Cebu. So what's the best thing about joining the pageant?
You know, it's really that it celebrates women as a holistic human being. Because I am a jack of all trades, master of none. I played so many sports growing up. I went into music also. If you saw my casual Q&A during Miss Universe Cebu, Mama Ru asked me, all of these are on your profile, what's your best? And the one I answered pa was not even on the list. So for me, what I love about pageantry is I don't have to choose one skill. Pageantry celebrates all the different colors that I carry on myself. And for so long, I was looking for a place in my life to be able to express myself fully. But it was only pageantry that allowed me to do that completely. So I love this space. I love the people that are in it. I love the ability that we have to impact the lives of other people. And I like that it pushes me also to push my limits. Even if I grew up super shy, which I don't know if you believe that or not, but even if I grew up super shy, it's really let me come out of my shell and become a more confident woman that can also encourage other young women to be just as confident.
Gab, with many front runners in this year's competition, how will you stand out among them?
One thing that is a big value for me is authenticity and being very genuine and never changing anything about who I am in my core. And one thing that I think a lot of people can attest to is when I speak, I mean it 100%. Na in an industry where there's so many expectations of who you should be, who you shouldn't be, I really aspire to be a woman that has her own brand of being a beauty queen. Even though there is pressure, of course, there are people who have been in the industry for so much longer or they've gotten major titles. Rather, I'm just very blessed that I get to go along the journey with them and that I get to learn from them. Because who knows, maybe it's their skills that I'll notice, that I can adapt, that can also help me become a higher and a more elevated version of Gabbi Carballo. And so for me, even though it's pressuring, it's okay because pressure is good. So, yeah.
Okay, so we have a question here. What personal qualities do you believe will help you succeed in this competition?
I am very introspective. So, being introspective basically means that I really view my life as cause and effect. Whatever I work on, the output will also come out. So, for me, I like that I'm highly, highly critical of my own self, and for me, that's the highest form of a push to improve. So, because I'm introspective, if I finish my whole day and I think na I could have done better at that, I'll instantly reassess it and then apply that the next time. I am stubborn in some ways, but I'm not stubborn to improving myself more. So I think now that I'm 26, it would have been a different story if I joined at 17 or 18. Now I probably would be very affected by a lot of the different opinions that people will have. But now, at this age, I'm very adaptable. And I do my best to also make people feel very welcome, very warm, and hopefully very loved as well.
Last question. You're a doctor, 26 years old, CEBUANA beauty queen. Can you give us 3 interesting facts na gusto mong i-share sa, of course, sa audience natin?
So, one, when I was a little kid, I really wanted to be a pop star. I loved Hannah Montana. I really would. My gosh, I don't even think my mom knows this, so she'll see it through this video. I used to get one of the sides of my bed frame, and it's like a microphone, and I would really sing and pretend that I'm performing at the Grammys. So that's a secret. Another interesting fact is I really love cooking my own food. So that's actually a diet tip if anyone is looking for tips for dieting. if you are the one in control of your food, that's the best way that you can lose weight. So don't put so much oil. I think that's my tip. Lesser cooking oil, lesser olive oil if you don't want to gain random weight. And I think the third one would probably be na even if I'm quiet, I can be a little bit quiet in the beginning. Some people tell me na, Gab, you're kind of hard to read. Like, it's kind of hard to read what you're thinking. So I guess I just want to preempt, especially na I haven't met the other girls pa. Just know that if I'm quiet, I'm still warming up to my surroundings. I really want to understand best how I can serve people best. I want to be a good friend. I really want to be a good listener. And I want to be someone who is, like, people can look to for advice. So I guess, my final secret is that I'm actually a very open book naman. As long as I've already warmed up first to the area.
May warm up.
Tayo. Very Beatrice Luigi Gomez.
Hello to.
Hello.
I'm sick. So,
I'm sick. I'm sick now. He's sick now.
of course, there's a lot of beauty pageants dito sa Philippines, lalo na sa mga national pageants. So, why Miss Universe Philippines?
Well, I did not dream of being a beauty queen my whole life. Actually, it was something that only came into my life around 2018 after Miss Mandaue that I thought about it. But for me, it's like, if you're gonna try to do a national pageant, you have to try at the one that your heart really longs for. Now, I considered many options, but for some reason, there was a voice in my head that still kept repeating Universe. Now, that doesn't mean that I think that I'm gonna win just because my mind's telling me that, oh, Miss Universe, Miss Universe. That's not what it means, but I'm a big person who believes in gut feelings. So my gut feeling has told me that there's something for me here. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the outcome will be. But whatever it is, I will gladly accept it with open arms. Just because I know naman na I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I've prayed so long for clarity over what I should do. Actually, there was a point na I wasn't even gonna pursue pageantry anymore. But I prayed to the Lord. I was like, Lord, if it's for me, show me. So I attended this service one day, and the speaker there sa service was talking about something like 7 factors of your calling. And all 7 factors matched exactly what Miss Universe would be for me. So after that, I realized, like, it was in a split second, I realized na, yep, I'm gonna join. Even if I was scared, even if I didn't know what the outcome would be. But because I felt really spoken to in that moment, I told myself that I'm gonna regret it for the rest of my life if I don't try.
So,